to the account that I want to go in. You wouldn't know that.
You want to forward it to me, and then I can, if you email it to me, can you forward it to me an email, and then I can pull it up for you, maybe? Well,
Okay.
Yeah, because I made you a
Let me go back to Zoom, and I'll read and go over it, and then I'll forward it to you.
Okay.
So let me get into my email.
I mean, I meant if you wanted to show it, and so that's what I thought you wanted to show.
Oh yeah, that's fine, because I want them to be able to see as I'm reading, because I'm.
If you send me a quick email, I will.
Oh, you know what? Let me send it from here. Yeah, I can do it here. What is your email? I'm going to send it from my work.
Yeah, just do the quick one, the Marian CP at Yahoo.
CPA?
Marian CP, MARRIAN CP at yahoo.com. That's the fastest one I can get to while we're online.
Okay.
I just put it out there. Hey, everybody. All right. We're good.
Okay, so I'm going to send that, and then it's just a little quick note. So let me get back into my Zoom.
All right.
Okay, so what that document is just going to talk about some basic herbs, and then I want to get into some breathing techniques and really take some questions and answers as well. So there are some basic herbs. So what came to me last week, and I shared with my spiritual herbalist, was that we're getting ready to enter into this a major flu season, cold and flu season. And the spirit was telling me to really encourage people to begin to make your fire cider, make your, if you know how to make elderberry syrup, get it. If you don't know how to make elderberry syrup, connect with someone that can do that for you, really to start boosting your immune system for yourselves and your family. You know, really, really get it, because this attacks our lungs, and we've been dealing with a lot of collective grief. We've lost a lot of people in this nation. You know, there are a lot of people who they either know someone personally that passed away from COVID, or they themselves have had it, or they know of people. And so really just operating in wisdom. It's not fear, but what can I do to boost my immune system? Well, there are some herbs that I feel that everyone should keep their pantry stocked with. And these herbs assist you in just maintaining good immune health, maintaining very, good immune health. And they are echinacea, which I'm sure a lot of you've heard of echinacea. So echinacea boosts your immune and reduces cold and flu symptoms and infection. And it's a good time to really go out and start purchasing these herbs now. So being a holistic practitioner, I believe mind, body, spirit. So we have a lot of those things that help our spiritual body, but we also need to get our physical body together. These are some time to eat a lot of greens and life-giving, because you don't want the heaviness of a lot of meat during the season as well. Elderberry you can find in the form of syrup. Elderberry is a simple syrup that you can make as well. It's rich in antioxidants, which protects cells from free radical damage. It's full of flavonoids and vitamin C, which are immune boosting compounds. Turmeric is a great antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, and it's antibacterial. It helps stimulate the adrenal glands, and it increases the adrenal hormones that help lessen infection. There's caution that I always give people with ginger and turmeric. If you are on any form of blood thinners, those are no goes for you in high dosage. That's something that you should, and I always encourage people to speak with your doctor as well. You'll have a lot of doctors, you know, that they'll be like, oh, no, you can't take it. That's why it's really important to have herbal consultations. So you'll know if there's a contraindication with the medications that you're on. And the herbs, because herbs are medicine. Our early medicines were made of plant compounds.
Mhm.
And so we have to really make sure. So we have this craze where people are taking turmeric and ginger and not disclosing that it's the craze. You're out there just running and doing things, and it can cause some issues if you're on blood thinners. You don't want anything that's going to counteract or further thin your blood so you bleed out.
Monica, I haven't seen that form yet, but if you get it to me, I'll place it in the group so they can see.
Okay. Okay. And astragalus, that stimulates the immune system. It aids with digestion. So what happens during, in the natural process, you guys, of fall and winter? What happens with plant growth? What happens in life? Everything slows down, right? It slows down. It goes into this hibernation. It dies. And so we need to support. That's why a lot of our ancestors, they canned. They have the root cellars where they would keep these vegetables, because we are connected to earth, right? We're this living being as well. So we go through this during the fall and the winter. So if you've neglected your health during the spring and the summer, you have to go through a process of detoxing all of that out. I always encourage people to do a really good and heavy detox, liver detox, colon detox, before the winter season enters, because you want all of that waste and all of those toxins out of your body, because the natural rhythm of life slows down during this time. And where am I going with this? In digestive health is so important to me. I'm trained as a colon hydrotherapist as well. And everything occurs in our gut. If your gut is off, that causes brain fog, that causes breakouts, it causes stress. And so can you imagine, I have performed colonics, colon hydrotherapy on people, and to see the amount of waste that's just still sitting there within their colons. You can see it coming through the tube and running out. Coming out of their bodies, or it's so blocked up that we have to massage and do a lot to get it moving. And once they start receiving these regular colon cleanses, if you've been on heavy medication, you have to, every once in a while, every couple of months, you have to cleanse your body of that. Cancer doctors now are sending people to colon hydrotherapists, and they're using this integrative approach, because they're now recognizing that like I said earlier, your first brain is that colon, your gut, your large intestines, your small intestines. It'll tell a story about you. We carry it in our gut, and we carry it on our shoulders, or our shoulders. That's where we carry a lot of what we should have done, we carry these stories as well. In our gut and on our shoulders. So it's important to eat during this time if you want to maintain optimum immune health. Some herbs, food that's going to stimulate your digestive. So astragalus is a dynamic herb. You can go get, you can order some online. Again, it stimulates the immune system. It aids with digestion. It's a diuretic. So be careful if you're already on a water pill. It combats cold and flu. That's A as in alpha, S like sugar, T tango, R Romeo, A alpha, G golf, A alpha, L Lima, U uniform, S like sugar. That's how you spell it. The 4 G's for winter support. If you can't get any of these other things, get some ginseng, energy booster, lowers cholesterol levels, lowers blood sugar. Have to give a warning. So if you suffer from lower blood sugar, you probably don't want to use a lot of this, right? It reduces stress, it relaxes you, and it's anti-inflammatory. And there's a common thing on here. You notice in a lot of them, they're either anti-inflammatory, they're anti-stress reducers, they're antioxidants. When we carry stress, stress harbors and creates a place for illness or dis-ease to set in. And being internal inflammation, cancer is linked to stress and inflammation. Internal inflammation is triggers. Diabetes, there are so many, so we have, in addition to food, we have that you have the stress factor, which in turn causes inflammation within your body. Garlic. If there's only one thing that you can get, garlic. You can get some fresh garlic, place it in honey, let it sit in there a few weeks. Take you a teaspoonful 3 times a day. Let it sit there. You're going to allow that garlic to sit in that jar of honey every day. Shake it up because you want it to get really in there. It'll start bubbling, which is all good. It's just doing its magic. And you can take that. Garlic is an immune booster. It aids with colds, reduces cholesterol levels, lowers blood pressure. After it's sat in there for 2 to 3 weeks, you can remove the garlic. You can save the cloves of garlic, chop them up, place them in a tea as well. I don't believe in casting anything out. I had to use it for my son because my son was literally eating like 3 to 4 cloves several times a day. He had our whole house smelling like garlic. You can smell them when you walk through the front door. So I was like, yeah, we're going to put this in the honey to help to counteract that. But it is it's a great immune booster. It's that winter support. I stated before, ginger, anti-inflammatory, pain, good for pain management. Any of you suffering from pain? If you battle chronic pain, it's an anti-inflammatory, and I see some spelling errors here, and it fights infection. So if you have active infection as well, ginger's great. Ginkgo biloba is an antioxidant, prevents free radical damage, increases your concentration, clarity, anxiety, and depression. The winter's dark, and so these herbs will help support us and keep us mind, body, and spirit in a place of balance. They'll help you stay sharp during this winter time. Okay. And so insomnia. As I stated, and my offer to each one of you is I am a yoga nidra facilitator. And if you'll write down my number, if you're interested in any of the services, then my offer to everyone that is here, from the facilitators to, is that I'll facilitate 1 complimentary yoga nidra session with you. And as I said, yoga nidra takes us out of that state of doing to non-doing. It is unlocking. It helps with, PTSD, insomnia, to stress. There's so many benefits, and we can schedule a consultation, and I'll give you a complimentary yoga nidra session. And believe me, and I use sound therapy with it as well, that after that session, you would want, several more. It is life changing. It is life changing. So yoga nidra. And my number is, let me give you guys my business number. I want to get this right.
I know, right? Don't be like me. Don't know what
Okay.
the number is.
I know. You see, I had to pick up my phone.
Yeah.
Okay. 602 775 1669. 602 775 1669. So some herbs that help with insomnia, Katie, are valerian root, nutmeg, chamomile, California poppy, passion flower, and ashwagandha root. I have all of those. And you can, we can sit down and develop something especially for you, an insomnia formula as well. But it has to be tackled holistically. Remember, it is the inability to control your thoughts and let them go, to allow you to go to sleep. And I personally, as I've stated, I battled several things, and insomnia has been one of them. It will assist you in the area of insomnia because I experience both forms, because there's two. There are some people where they cannot, it takes hours to go to sleep. And there are people where their sleep, once they fall asleep, their sleep is constantly disturbed. They're up. And so there were times that I no longer battle it. So let me phrase that. I'm no longer, they diagnosed me, oh, you're an insomniac. No. I also had a therapist who said, I want you to practice yoga, asana. I want you to go breath work. I want you to work on meditation. I go to a very integrative therapist as well. And so I no longer experience that. So I had years of inability of falling asleep. And at times I would fall asleep, but I'd be awake and often just never had an unrestricted night of sleep. And have you noticed, like when you wake up the next morning, you're like, man, my cognitive functions and my memory's just off. It's just something, it's just not connecting. Yeah. And if you had a major assignment or test, you just couldn't get it. Well, those are the effects of sleep loss. So it affects so many. So what this can do is to prevent the loss of your cognitive thinking and reflexes. It teaches you to let go of your thoughts and naturally enter into your brain wave states associated with sleep. An hour of yoga nidra is the equivalent. It can be up to 3 to 8 hours for some people asleep. During this session, you will unconsciously use your breath, body, and awareness techniques to reach deep sleep states. It reteaches your body to enter into a deep, restorative, restful sleep night after night by reducing your cortisol, and then increases your natural melatonin. So you won't have to take any of those things. It becomes natural to you. It becomes natural. And so it helps regulate your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous systems, because, we usually go from one extreme to the other. So this helps them merge and meld and helps bring that cycle in balance. That's why it helps with your hormones. It helps with so many different areas of your life as well. Okay. I was hearing in the spirit with fear that, some of you are suffering from fear. Mm-hmm. Herbs can be used for fear. That same thing, valerian, passion flower. Notice again, some of the same herbs for insomnia are the same herbs for fear, because our thoughts place our minds into this fearful state. We have fight, flight, or freeze. And then you're trying to control stuff that you can't. And so then you have this fear that you're not going to meet this expectation. So it's all of these cycles. So valerian, chamomile, all these are some herbs that can help relieve you from that anxiety and that fear. And Amina, what I kept hearing for you, I'm glad you came back on. The spirit told me to tell you, start acting the meaning of your name. Become the meaning. Become the meaning. Tell everybody what your name means.
My name means faithful one, loyal. I remember this gentleman told me a while back on the phone that it means that if you give me money to hold, you can trust that I'll hold it and not steal it.
Yeah. Yeah. It means you're trustworthy. You're honest.
Yeah.
You're at peace. I have a niece named Amina. It means you're at peace. You're at peace because you're wearing it all in here.
So, yeah.
You're wearing it all in here. Even in the midst of this, in this spiritual retreat, you're wearing that stress.
Exactly.
You be your name. Be your name. Trust yourself. Be honest with yourself that you can unleash all that you are, and you can also release the trust that you don't have to carry the stress.
Yeah.
You're a faithful person. Right?
True. Yeah.
You are faithful. You are truthful. You do have the right to feel safe. Those are all of the meanings of your name. And that's all I kept hearing throughout the day is tell Amina to be that, embody her. Look at you smiling, embody your name.
You know, thank you for saying that because I'm working through this whole thing as far as, you know, trying to throw out the effects of trauma and all these things. And like I was saying yesterday, like just finding my authentic self, the person I was before all the bullshit started. You know what I mean? All gives to carry. And then you don't realize until later on that we're carrying baggage. I just want to be that person again. And I'm getting there, but I'm very happy that you said that. I really do appreciate that.
Welcome.
Yeah, because I do. My name is very important to me, and I don't always the way that I
should. Be your name. It was given to you for a reason.
Yeah.
And to embody, it's already in you. You just got to step in it.
Step in it.
And you're doing it. You started. You've done it. You're doing it. And I would like to take you. I think I'm running kind of close.
You're fine for me.
Okay, so let me get.
I want to leave you hanging.
Are there any questions? Any questions or comments?
I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
We were talking earlier about like having dreams and visions and premonition. I don't know, but my question actually is, what does it mean when you can't wake up? When you're awake, but you can't get up? Like, I don't know if it's like paralysis or something, but it's things that you can't control. Like, you're going to be in that state until your body or your mind is ready to get out of it. And it's a very scary space to be, but that's happened to me at least like 10 times over the last 6 years.
Denise, go on, because Denise, I'm gonna let Denise handle it because she started shake. She has it.
Yeah, no. What it is that when you're sleeping, you're leaving your body and you're doing work. And you're doing work, spiritual work. You're doing spiritual work. What happens is you wake up before your spirit gets back into your body, and so you get afraid. So what you need to do is not be afraid and just says lay there because you feel like you're paralyzed. And say and just breathe through it and it'll come back in. When you go to sleep at night, you need to it's gonna happen. And you need to just say, when I leave my body, just when I come back, let it be an easy transition back into. It's what Monica said earlier when she talked about the cord and locking you into the earth. So it's the same thing. Yeah, everybody always says they call it all kind of stuff, but that's not what it is. You're just You're
There's
busy.
no Jinn on you. There's no evil
Yeah.
spirit holding you down. It is about our astral travel that we do spiritually.
Yes.
And like Monica talked about, you know, and that's something. And now and Denise is like, no, I remember, because she was freaking out on me one time, like, sister, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, yeah. I've done it. It's a lot. It's a lot. I've done it for years. And
Because
some
I
mornings
watched
I wake up and be tired as heck. I'll be like, woo!
and I even went in the room and watched her. I sat in the room and watched her sleep because it was happening every night. And I was like, oh, and then I saw it. She was up. What the fuck? I'm like,
Yeah.
this chick is all over the place. You know,
Yeah.
she was going to go flitter over here. It was just different things that I was allowed to see so you can calm down.
Yeah.
Monica, this was really good.
Yes.
Thank
Very good presentation, as always, you know.
Say something.
Yeah,
thank
go
you.
for it, honey.
When I dream, I talk to the people in my dream.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? And that kind of wakes me up because I'm not supposed to be talking to them, you know. So as if I'm really there, I'm talking to them.
Now that's a good thing. So that means that your subconscious is realizing that you are doing something that, quote unquote, you should not. It's not wrong for you to talk to people when when you've been placed in there. Nothing's wrong with that. The challenge, what wakes you up, is not that you're talking to them. The challenge is that your mind is going, oh, she shouldn't be doing that. There's something inside of your subconscious that's preventing you from making that complete, accepting that bridge.
Okay. Yeah.
When I keep saying this, and this is what I was hearing when I was downstairs, you know, I had to take a moment because I really felt somebody's emotions. And I just want to pause for a second. But Monica, I want you to do what you want to do. But let me just preface this by saying again, this is a sacred and safe space. No, it doesn't have to sound like you want it to sound right now. That's why I want you to start journaling. And I love when Katie B said, it's about being vulnerable. Like, damn, you got to be vulnerable. Like, you can't just sit in the room and be like, I'm here. You actually have to do. That's what this is. You sometimes when people come to the retreat or when they come to a reading with me, they want me to do all the work. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You have to open up to allow the space to come. And we have a lot of chatter in our head, and we have a lot of things in our subconscious. I think Denise talked about it. I think everybody's talked about it. We got all kind of junk in our head that is countering the progress we want to take. Because here's the reality. You know you should be somewhere, you can see it. And then all of a sudden you start saying my eye is off. You start saying, well, maybe I'm looking in somebody else's path. Or I'm gonna go to hell because this ain't the way Big Mama and all that stuff. Let me, the more you open yourself to be truly in relationship with spirit, is like no other. You will not want to be bothered with people and they bullshit. Listen to me, y'all. Spirit will give you life the way it's supposed to be given, not the way they tell you life is. You will not grapple with the decision to tell someone that you really believe should be in your life that they cannot be in your life anymore. You will not hesitate to stop doing behaviors and having conversations and accepting realities that are not the ones that are truly given to you from divine spirit, your original assignment. There is no conflict in flow. Only when there's static is there a problem. Electricity will run right across the flowing water. It won't bother nothing. Wind blows right over the water. Don't bother nothing. It might take a few water molecules, but it's not doing much more. She talked about Oya, right? And I'm gonna say this, is that there's a lot of modalities out here. Don't be like Cookie Monster. Don't be a spiritual Cookie Monster. Don't try to eat up everything. Find out what you need to eat right now. Yes, the vision and the calling on your life. I can very much go down this pace and tell everybody what I see for them and what I hear. But I'm not allowed to because it would only add confusion.
Yeah.
Focus on your health. Focus on making decisions. to be open and allow spirit to guide you more. Not on, I'm going to be like Denise and Monica next year. I'll be at the retreat, and this sister I'm going to be taking over, helping sister more. That's beautiful. But right now we need to work center. We need to center our energy back down. Remember our intention. What's most important? Prioritization. That's another thing you got to start doing. Prioritization. Right? I used to think that God, there's a song that says, I used to think God was a son, right? I used to think God was a son. But God is a son, and God is so much more, like the earth and the wind and all of creation, right? That's to get people out of that mindset of trying to put God into a physical body.
Right.
The presence, the universe, divine. Like sometimes people talk to me like, well, I don't believe in God, just believe in the ancestors. Then you're a fool. You got to have both. You don't have to call it God, but you got to know there's a source, there's a creation, there's Obatala, there's what's the other name? I just forgot, drop my name just that quick. But you get my point. Whatever term you call it, you can say Allah, you can call it Father Sky, Mother, Father, God. It doesn't matter. It is a presence by which we are all connected that unifies us. Don't be a spiritual cookie monster. Don't be a road runner. You say, I know, Monica, like sister, because, but that's what I hear. I'm a visual. So when I heard it, I was like, okay, I got to get through this. I want to reveal in this retreat as a facilitator. I want to create the space that allows us to share freely, so that when you leave here in a couple of hours, you have a different perspective to think on besides all the crap you normally think of. Your children are not your property. Your children are not your shields. Your children are not your stepping stones. Your children are gifts that were entrusted to you to give them guidance, support, and increase their awareness and remind them of their spiritual positioning in this universe. And that they have an assignment to do. And if you are using them in any other capacity, you out of balance. That's the balance. But there should be harmony. Does that mean they won't act up? No. Does that mean your man or woman won't act up? No. Does that mean you're going to always have money bank account? The answer is no. But what it does mean is that when you become more consciously and you prepare yourself to prioritize spirit in a moment by moment integration, not a situational or an event inclusion and activation. Because we've been taught that in this physical world. Don't go to the spirit realm until you get in trouble, you angry, till you sad, till you hurt. When it should be a continuum, so that when you do get hurt, don't hurt as much. Maybe you get a forewarning. Maybe it tells you to turn right now, and you turn right now, and on the back end of your car get towed up, not the whole car and you. It's a breath. That breath is so essential. Every book I've ever written, every time I talk, I'll always tell you to pause and breathe. It refortifies your body. It heals your body. Today, when we were doing yoga, I said, when I had y'all stand up, I said, yeah, I'm gonna do my one nostril. I like that one because I feel like I need to breathe that way. It's a different energy. It's a different flow for me. That don't mean it's for you. I was just told to make us stand up and move and get the energy flowing. Monica did an excellent job, and she's gonna finish up. But if the knowledge is, if the information is given and we don't act upon it, then we're for naught. We can't make you do anything. We just have chosen to do it for real. And y'all can too. That's my long way of saying, trust it. Don't leave the retreat today and let people distract you. Don't let old paradigms, old belief systems. A paradigm is a system of habits and beliefs that cause you to act or not act, that benefit or not benefit. You can have a paradigm that works. My paradigm that works is my modern ritual and me believing that all things are created. There's one divine creator, God creator of all that ever was, is, and shall be, and nothing is greater. There are representatives, but nothing is greater than that. There are teachers of it, and that's it, but they're not greater than that. And we're all connected and together by me borrowing from my other creations in the universe. I can be stronger. I can have more, see more, be more, serve more, give more. But if you holding on to Big Mama gonna be mad at me if I start doing yoga nidra, or Grandpa gonna be upset because I'm saying things different, I'm looking at things different, I'm talking about energy now, then that's gonna be a challenge. A ritual is a ritual. A belief is a belief. A custom is a custom. We believe, my culture tells me there is no such thing as a bad thing. Everything is divinely ordained. No such thing as a bad thing. There are inconveniences when we are out of alignment. When we are out of alignment, we got to be pulled back in. So that's going to give you an inconvenience. You got to stop doing what you're doing to get back in line, but not as a punishment, but as encouragement. So pause. We're going to take a break. Monica, you can wrap up. You said you wanted to say a couple more things. Y'all got her phone number, or did she give it out? I can't recall. But I could feel the resistance. The best way to get free from something that's bothering you is not resist it. People talking, people doing things you don't want them to do, stop talking about it and see how fast it stops. People calling you don't want to call, just don't answer the phone. Or when you answer the phone, don't give them the conversation. Say hello and let them talk. They'll be like, you ain't say nothing. They're gonna stop calling you. You're not feeding them. That's part of healing too. Your money funny? Ask yourself why you spend the money the way you spend your money, or why do you hold on to money so tightly that it can't do anything for you? That's it. No judgment, no harm, no foul. Monica, please share your number, and then we're gonna take a 15-minute break.
I want to say something before we left.
Oh, go back, Katie. Go for it, honey.
You said that we can cut people out of our lives that are not serving us, but people can cut you out of their lives too.
Yes. And you have to be okay with that. Why? Because it's their choice.
Yes.
And
yes.
everything is temporary, Katie. All things are temporary for a permanent purpose. It is up to us to decide what that connection is. I have couples that I talk to and they're talking about, well, you know, this, I thought we should be together. I said, no, because you got a boy part and she got a girl part does not mean you're supposed to be in a relationship. It might be a friendship. It might be a partnership. It might have just been meant for you to recognize this is something good that's coming, but your next best thing is the one you're really supposed to have. Or because I gave them some, so now we're stuck in a relationship. No. Katie is absolutely right. That's why I said don't take it personal and make no assumptions. Don't take it personal and make no assumptions. Have integrity, be impeccable with your word, and always do your best. Those are the first four agreements. There are actually more than that, but there's four.
Okay. And one question for Monica. She was talking about the colon cleansing, but I've been to my doctor and he says my colon is fine. For 5 years, I should check back. But if the doctor says that, why do we need a colon cleansing?
They are, so it depends on the type of doctor you go to, of course. So you have natural medicine and you have integrative doctors who practice naturopathic medicine, and they are allotropic. I want to make allotropic, I always mispronounce it. Medicine practitioners. So a lot of our natural practices, you can look back on, they've gone back and looked on papyruses and on the walls of tombs in ancient Kemet, and you'll see a bird with his long beak and it's going in at the anal area, or you'll see the reeds. Animals naturally cleanse their colons. Medical doctors will tell you, the majority of them, that there's no need to cleanse your colon. It's okay. He's already given you a number. Your colon's good for 5 years. Your colon should be good until you leave this, world. Elvis Presley died while having a bowel movement because he was on medication, popping pills. His colon had become impacted. He died from that strain. He had a heart attack. John Wayne, when he died, they said he had like 30 to 40 pounds of fecal matter. He was a heavy steak eater in his colon. We are not naturally eating the right types of food. We're not eating ancient grains because a lot of our things have been modified and changed. So doctors will tell you, oh, there's no need for that. However, Mayo Clinic and other high-value network doctors will send their cancer patients, people who have been on medications a lot, they will send them because they are recognizing the ancient practice of there's a need to go just beyond the surface exit area of the colon, that you have to go in and do some deep cleaning. I've had colon cleanses, and like I said, you will see the waste. You can see, look at when a person's colon is being cleansed, you can see puffiness that lets you know that there's a lot of yeast buildup in their bodies. There's so much. There are doctors, again, I keep stressing, there are a lot of doctors here who now they're starting to send. There are doctors who are intimidated by colon hydrotherapy because that's taken away from their business and the pharmaceutical. It used to be that the goal was to get you to a place of whole. Now it's the dependency to keep coming back.
Yeah.
If you sit down and locate a colon hydrotherapist in your area, they can sit down, and you want to make sure that there's someone that's IAT certified, because there is an organization that has set some standards and parameters to keep you safe. And it's the International Association of Colon Hydrotherapists. You want to make sure that they're IAC certified. So your doctors will tell you a lot. You know, pharmaceutical companies will tell you a lot because they're paid by pharmaceutical companies. They don't like hearing it to keep, getting you there. So it's something to look in, especially if you're dealing with a lot of sluggishness, if you've been on a lot of medication, you're going through this cleanse now. It's to further help you, detox. I would suggest also looking at doing a liver detox while you're on the alkaline. You're on the alkaline diet.
Yes.
Yeah. So it has one naturally in there. He has one that goes with that, Monica. When he does the alkaline, it's a natural one that he creates in there. Through your foods, you're cleansing your liver as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The formulas that he make you do for this, it makes you. But I also want to say to remember that your colon is this wide. Can you see my fingers? Maybe that's an inch. I don't even know if y'all can see me. I turned my light off. So it's just this wide, and it's kind of going around, right? So if he's checking your colon, he's pretty much sticking something, either his finger or his hand or her hand up there and looking for the amount of compact fecal matter. They're looking to see if the orifices of that is doing, and I'm just saying that's what is done. But the reason why coloscopies and enemas and things like that are being taunted is because, like Monica said, just because the first, so this is how it is, and then you're going up. I think I can't remember now. I think
your colon is at least 5 feet long.
Right. I was going to say it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting little sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So it equates to about almost like 5 feet of intestines, right? Of your lower intestines. So with that, it's like a square. It looks like a square almost, right? When you look at it. And so if they're going up and they don't go up further enough, but you compact it up at the top where the small intestine releases into the colon. Some of us have that. That's why I told you when I said I was getting a pouch, I had to go back and do intermittent fasting, go back and do my fasting, go back and do my purifying, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with you. Your colon is an organ that you have to have. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing should be like a bag of flour. See me in 5 years.
Yeah.
So let me I got to put my disclaimer. Ayizan Life Alchemy Center and Dr. Marian Sister Afua is an alternative health facility using Ancient and herbal practices. We are not a licensed medical facility in the state of Arizona. Information you receive, you see, I got this down, Monica, don't I? Ah! The
The
information,
same from Yvonne
and
Craig.
the same thing for Monica Yvonne Craig,
Mhm.
right? We're sharing this information as a knowledge-based information. Is it research-based? Absolutely, positively. Am I licensed? Yes, I am. However, I don't want you to take my information solely and tell your doctors, chuck it. We're
That's
giving
No.
right.
you information so that you all can use it for your benefit. The
Okay.
insomnia is the same thing.
Okay.
It's to support you. I always tell
Yes.
my,
Yeah.
and I tell my clients that it is to support you in your process. It's to support you. And notice that I said, talk to your doctors, have that conversation, you know, as well.
Okay.
And we
All
can
right.
talk more, Katie, like I said, as we going forward, we can talk more. There's a lot going on, right? And so, as I said, don't try to eat everything now. Maybe just take some, wrap it up in a little Tupperware bowl and put it to the side so we can get there. But figure out which area you want to focus on first. I think that right now you're focusing on your health and you want to become, oh shit. Are you kidding me? Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Something happened, girl. It told me something weird. It took my computer away. It took my whole screen away. So I hope y'all can hear me. Y'all may not be able to see me, but I hope y'all can
We
hear
can
me.
see you.
Oh, good. Okay. Because it's
Okay.
on my screen, everything went black. So I don't lost my, yeah. So everyone that is here today, at the end of the night tonight, take you a nice shower. Be nice if you could put a little bit of salt, a little bit of honey, you know, some things in there, and just kind of take yourself a nice bath and just really allow your brain to process what you heard today. Then maybe come out and sit quietly. Do a couple of deep breaths while you're in the tub, do a couple or shower. Try to elect to see what rises to the top that you feel like you need to implement, because that's in the key. Going to an event and being here attentive is great, but if you can't implement, and if anything is uncertain, you want to reach out to us and be like, hey, yo, you know, you had said this on the at the retreat. Can you clarify that, or can you give me some more information on that? Da, 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 da. But whatever comes up highest, that's what you focus on. Don't try to do everything. Put everything else in a nice little, you know, Ziploc bag or box or trunk or whatever, and save it for another time. Focus on the one thing that is primal. Then we can, once we get this under in a harmonic flow, unstuck and moving in consistency, then, but everybody should start the morning ritual and the nighttime ritual after this retreat, minimally. Everybody should start journaling, and which is part of your process. Making down your agenda, doing daily movement, drinking water more every day, spending time in nature. Even if you just go stand on your porch or walk out to the grass out there on the yard, you know, or go sit and just do it for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, just so you can breathe. Because most of us walk around letting our body automatically breathe, and we have to train ourselves to breathe to restore life. Remember, it's about repairing and restoring. That's what healing is. Monica, why you got me talking? I told you to put me in the conversation.
Oh, man. So I want to give you my phone number again, and end with the quote. Sister hit on it about vulnerability. And as she stated, start making that one change. You know, if it didn't resonate with you, there's never been a client that I've said, we doing all of these at one time. We're going to practice every modality that I have. You're getting ready to get just submerged in it.
Ready, say,
One
go.
one change at a time helps become a habit, you know, and mastering that. Brene Brown teaches on vulnerability.
Yeah.
Vulnerability is not weakness, and that myth is profoundly dangerous. Vulnerability is the birthplace of connection and the path to feeling of worthiness. if it doesn't feel vulnerable, the sharing is probably not constructive. Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It is having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is our greatest measure of courage. If you're not vulnerable enough to experience change, change won't occur, right? You may have been hurt. If you've been loved someone before and you still have a desire for true love, yeah, you might get hurt again, but you also might receive the love that you've been waiting for your lifetime, right? So vulnerability opens up the possibilities for us. It opens up, and being vulnerable definitely is not a sign of weakness. But what we've learned is to be like, I always tell people about that palm tree, to be able to have that bounce back, a hurricane to come in the state of Florida and, tear stuff up. And you'll see that palm tree leaned over all the way to the side, right?
Yes.
And then once the wind subsides, that palm tree will start coming up a little higher, a little higher, a little higher, until it's back, palms raised up high. That's called resiliency. So what? You take that chance, you become vulnerable, and you get bent over to the side. It's not going to break you. Resiliency is the ability to bounce back.
Yes.
From whatever we're going through. So that's what I want to leave you with. She spoke on it. So listen to spirit. Don't second guess spirit. Make sure you listen to spirit and not fear too, though, right? Because sometimes we'll use that market. Oh, the spirit told me that's not for me. No, that's your fear.
No, that's your fear.
That is not for you. That's your fear. Listen to spirit, and to expand. My number is 602-775-1669. I thank you for allowing me into your sacred space and giving me the opportunity. I honor that. I appreciate it. Thank you again to all of the goddesses and the divine people that you.
Yes, and so it is. So we're going to take a 15-minute break. Think of a couple of questions you might have or something. When we come back, I'm going to kind of revisit the ideal of forgiveness in depth. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about identifying your purpose. And we kind of talked about your gifts already. Denise led into that already about what your gifts are, your areas you should focus on. But I'm going to talk about forgiveness a little bit. And then I'm going to go into the ancestral journey, and then we'll be done for the day. Can you believe we almost done, y'all? Ooh-wee. All right, almost done. We did it. I was like, ooh, gotta fall in. So go ahead and take a 15-minute break. That means it'll be, let's take longer. It's 2:00. Let's go to 2:20. Is that okay? 2:20. Yeah. See y'all then.
Mhm.
Hey, 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 everybody. We are back. We are back. We are back. I gave y'all an extra minute because I had to write a note. Welcome back. Can we get 2 people to share out feedback from our experience we had with Sister Monica and our subsequent conversation? Sister, why do you want us to talk? Because through your talk, you gain mastery. Hey, 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 everybody. We are back. Right? Hold on, y'all. I gotta turn off the sound on something else. Hang on. Shuckaroo. Welcome back. Okay. And so the reason I want you to talk is because it's part of the process, right? Like I said, finding out what exactly you can take and actually implement. What are you processing right now so that you don't walk away and allow your paradigms to attack you and move you backwards or freeze you. That's why I'm asking you to speak about what your thoughts, processes are. And there's no judgment, no harm, no foul. Go ahead, whoever wants to, please open up your mic and let. One thing you could take away, or a word that could describe the conversation that you heard today with Denise and Monica as we go forward, and something you want to implement. I think I'm gonna do that in breakout rooms. That's gonna force y'all to talk. Amina hasn't come back. She didn't. And Jacqueline didn't come back, and neither did Sandra. Oh, I wanted to do breakout rooms for this. Go ahead and just answer the questions. Like I said, one word that would describe your day today, being here in the retreat, and then the other thing is what are you thinking or looking forward to doing after today? That's my 2 questions. One word that describes your experience today, and what's something you want to implement after today?
Well, for me, what I want to implement is the yoga nidra sessions. And I have a morning ritual that I kind of do, but I don't really have an evening one. And that's something else that I really want to start. The morning one I got down pat. I didn't really pay attention to how important the evening one is. It'll probably help me. It'll help me sleep better, rest better, be focused, and release some of all of the days, everybody else's stuff. I'm taking it to bed with me. So it's adding on to my extra work that I'm doing while I'm sleeping, while I'm waking up exhausted in the morning. So I'm going to start that. So those are the 2 things that I'm going to take away. And then the one word that I can that I would like to share is I want to say awesome. And I say that because every time I do a retreat, or every time I'm in an environment where there's a lot of women with a lot of spiritual energy, I always gain something from it. I always learn something new, or another aha moment, or it reminds me of something of the importance. So today was awesome for me. You're muted. If you're talking to me, okay.
I said, I like that kind of stuff too. That's what excites me about doing the retreat too.
Okay.
That are just like on fire, more feminine divine energy
Yes.
surround me. So yes, thank y'all for being here again. I'm gonna keep saying thank you.
Thank
Somebody
you
else?
for me being here.
Yeah, I'll go.
Mhm.
The one word would be mind-boggling and amazing. I think I'm going to work on the morning and evening rituals. I have to figure out how to do them, and the colon cleansing. And I would like to book some appointments with Monica and do some of the things that she does to get my body healed, like the the herbs and also the energy works that she does. Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
All right, Amina, I see you ready. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. Like with the herbs and the Reiki and the sound healing. I'm definitely interested in that. I feel a lot of the illness that I've been diagnosed with, I feel like well, first of all, I've never used any pharmaceuticals for it. I've just kind of been like, now I'm good. Too many side effects from the pharmaceuticals. But I know that if I continue to heal my spirit and my mind and my soul, that my body will begin to heal. I don't think it'll be like a, overnight, all of a sudden you're cured. But I do believe in my heart and soul that if I was to start really focusing on that, along with the diet and herbs and stuff, I think I could feel a lot better than I've been feeling. So it's just another affirmation that I know that I'm in the right space. I'm in the right place.
Absolutely.
So that I can feel better. I appreciate this time with you guys. I really do. It's been very helpful.
Honored that it could serve you. Anyone else before I move forward? Because I'm going to be going into my thing.
So what I'm going to take from this, like one of the things is that I'm going to be more conscious and aware of my intent for the day, and just like when things like start to go awry, just kind of refocus into like how I want my day to go out. And my one word I want to say is appreciative.
For you too. Thank you so much. We are appreciative of you. Trust me when I say it is a journey. But at first, initially, I was like, how can I do my retreat, online? Because it is such a sacred process. And then I was in the shower one day and it said, of course it is. And that's energy and it's vibration. So why wouldn't you be able to give people that, right? You're going to only attract people who are 100% ready to transition. So thank you all for being here and trusting me, and Denise and Monica. Thank you for trusting me to allow you to share your gifts in a space. And I always want to say this, it's not about who's there. It's about what happens when you're there. Right. I think I shared with y'all yesterday, I used to have like 50 to 100 people in a room. That was ridiculous. And then I realized, why am I doing that? I can't serve. I'm just filling up a room. I'm moving back. So,
Can I say something?
yeah. No, I just was saying, oh, you want to say something? Yeah, I said, I didn't say anything. Go ahead. Feel free.
Okay, we were talking about our bodies and the colon and everything, and how we're packed up sometimes. And sometimes you don't know that you need to go to the bathroom. So I'm not one of you guys, but I have a suggestion. Okay, I have a bath. I don't have showers. I have baths. So we're getting to know our bodies. So you have to get to know your female body by sticking your finger up your vagina. And your vagina is connected to your rectum. And you can feel when you need to go to the bathroom if you just press on it, and that will tell you, even though you don't think so, you can take some things to help you to go, because you will feel the different hardness there. Yeah. So that's what's my thing I wanted to add.
It's true. You can feel the rectal area, the colon area. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I also got a message that asked me about this whole thing about plant-based. What's my issue with plant-based? I'm not saying that you have to be plant-based. Monica, why always get people asking me? Is that me that I go? Okay, let me repeat it. I thought I said it earlier. Okay, so I'm vegan because I was led to be vegan. I started out vegetarian. I never ate beef. I never ate pork. I only ate chicken, fish, and turkey. When I turned 18, I could no longer stand the smell or the touch of like shrimp, crab, lobster. Crazy. I can still eat mussels. I can still eat clams. Doesn't bother me, but I cannot eat other things. So when I got this information about my genetic predisposed condition, I looked up what stops this condition. And spiritually, it said when you are suppressing your voice, when your voice has been suppressed, when you are under high levels of stress, it triggers it. And you start producing too much of a particular T4 hormone. Okay, so I knew that because I had diagnosed myself already saying that it was hyperthyroidism. So when when I got worse, I went to go see a Western doctor and they said, yes, da 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 da. So I became a vegan for that purpose. Do I still believe in all creations have equity on this earth? Absolutely, positively, but I'm not going to throw paint on your fur coat. I might be wearing one with you. I'm just kidding. If you give it to me, as long as I got to pay for it. So plant-based life is like what Monica talked about earlier. She said something earlier and I was trying to write it down, but it went by so fast when she said, and I think I said it too, the earth I know the earth, right? They're playing with our food. She's about the grains. The grains and a lot of foods that we eat now are grafted to be that way. They're not in their original form. Okay, they're not in our original form. So the plant-based life allows your body to use the teeth for what they're for. We only have 2 incisors. They're not very big. Our teeth are not designed to bite meat. But if you eat meat, lessen it. It's still that essence of that animal. When I said I don't put biological products into my body, I'm not a baby cow, so I don't need milk. And if I want ice cream, I can drink cashew milk, coconut milk, almond milk, whatever. So that rice milk, all of that stuff just became an option for me. And once I came into a new level for myself, your journey may not be there and you may never have to make that decision. But for me, plant-based life, it does have benefits. You're not as constipated. You do have more energy. You do spend less time being sluggish. Because like Monica said, when you're eating heavy, you're sluggish. That people talk about itis, you know how you eat so much? That's because your body can't process all of that. So your body puts you to sleep so other organs can rest so that the digestive system can work.
Okay.
So you do not have to be plant-based. But if you could do it, I always tell people if you want to try it out, do meatless Mondays. Make you a meal on Mondays. Every Monday, make a meal that doesn't have any meat products or byproducts. You see if it tastes. People that come to the retreat are always amazed that it's vegan. One time somebody said, no, it's gotta be real meat. No, it's not. It's gotta be real cheese. No, it's not. Right? Because I buy the quality and you gotta search around. Don't just think because somebody say, and I don't do soy. So I don't do soy. So I have to kind of always be raw or strict vegetables because I don't do any form of soy. I make a conscious effort not to ingest soy. So thank you for y'all questions. Anybody else want to add something? Go ahead, Katie B.
So I was a vegetarian for 7-8 years, and then I got pregnant, and I started craving like chicken, like the worst cravings. And then the first couple times I ate it, I threw up. Yeah, I was about 3.5, 4 months pregnant. I was like, yo, these cravings is killing me. And I just was like, yo, that's it. I'm gonna start eating chicken. And threw up again. And 4 years later, 4 years later, I'm still eating meat.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know what? It isn't, I don't feel like the same energy levels though. That's a fact. Like it does something to your energy levels.
And there are overweight vegans and vegetarians. There are vegans and vegetarians that still get sick. They're vegan. So I don't want y'all to think this will be a magic catch-all, but I'm just saying, you're financially, it just is very different, but it definitely brings clarity to you. You have a different level of clarity and a level of fuel that you can experience. Sahar talked about, and I got her doing intermittent fasting, and it's based upon, what you want to happen. People fast all the time. If you don't eat, from a certain time to a certain time, that's really a fast. But America teaches us to have these calculated time measurements to ingest food. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong for you. Do what's best for you. I think I heard that. If not, then I'm gonna tell you, you do what's best for you and you move at the pace that's best for you. Don't do everything at one time. Start slow. Maybe you remove, beef and turkey, and you keep fish for a year, and then the next year you remove the fish, then the next year you remove the cheese, and then you can do that. It doesn't have to be 100% cold turkey. I went cold turkey because I wanted to live. So I didn't want to take 12 pills a day, right? And I didn't want them to tell me I was going to die in 10 years. It's been 10 years. I haven't died. Peace and blessings, all praises, whatever term we need to put there. It is all good. Gratitude forever, for real. So that's what I want to talk about. Anything else about that? That was the only other question I had that somebody had. I love how y'all send me these little messages. It's cute. All right. Forgiveness. Taking a deep breath real quick, drink a little water. Let's clear our minds. Let's commit that this next conversation is going to be one of openness, one of release. And we're going to forget any idea or any person that we feel that we might wanted to forgive, but we just don't feel they're worthy. We're not even going to think about that. We're not going to talk about all the things that you should forgive a person for or not forgive a person for, because it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. What matters is that you have allowed yourself to create a space by which you can exist in a harmonic exchange in every part of your life, with no added weights, with no distractions, with no fear and uncertainty about the longevity of your life and the quality of your life. When I see forgiveness, I always have a vision of, those old ships, and they would throw that big anchor over the boat and it would sink. That's, to me, when I say I can't forgive someone or I'm holding a grudge, I see an anchor being dropped, which means I can't go anywhere, or I can go somewhere, but only so far, unless I deal with that matter. So forgiveness became me having to grapple with the idea of what is forgiveness, and why do I have to forgive people that are adults, that are intelligent, that may have their whole life together. Maybe they're my parent, maybe they're a relative, a teacher, a lover, a child. Why do I have to forgive them? And the response I got from them is that forgiving them is not about them. It's about what I have you to do, what I have for you to do. Meaning, if I'm holding a grudge, can I receive my next quote unquote blessing? Can I receive and see my next opportunity? Right? No. I see some people shaking their head like, no, you can't do that. Absolutely correct. You can't. It becomes very difficult to do that, to carry that weight. If you imagine those two anchors that are falling, those anchors that are there, they're very heavy. They're made from steel and metal, iron. You're going to carry all those weights. That's why I loved Erykah Badu's song when she came up with Bag Lady. You're going to miss your bus dragging all that stuff like that, right? You can't hurry up because you got too much stuff. So now you see your opportunity, you see your dream mate, you see your business, you see your spiritual elevation and evolvement. You see yourself being able to impact and influence other people, but you got all this stuff. So you're moving slowly. You're moving so slow that they don't even think you're really coming anymore. And then when you get there, you're like, this all it was because you're carrying too much stuff. Forgiveness happens for yourself first. You have to forgive yourself. Not because you did something incorrect, but because you allowed yourself to be distracted for that moment. It's not about what they did. Remember, we don't take it personal and we don't make assumptions, but we may still have to forgive people. So when you are offering forgiveness, it's about you clearing up space so that you can have space for the things you really want in your life. I paused because I was thinking, would I share this story with y'all? So when I was a young person, I was violated, and nothing came of it to that person. So I had to learn how to forgive, because I was seeing this person every day. Not every day, but enough times in my life I would have to see this person, because that's how we live our lives. People, you don't always see. You can see people who live in your neighborhood and who live around you. You're going to see them, right? You can't stop the world. So I had to realize how to forgive myself for blaming myself for the violation, blaming myself and blaming others for not coming to my rescue or from intervening or knowing that this was a possibility. I had to forgive myself so that we can go forward. Once I did that, then I had to say, how do I forgive this person? Now I was like, hell no, I'm not forgiving this person. Because that's da 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 da. And then the response was, but they don't hold the capacity. You're faulting them and holding them accountable and have an expectation that is assumptive, that they hold the capacity and the willingness and the knowingness to not do those things, or to know that it would have a negative impact on your life at this stage. Does this make sense to y'all? I'm not trying to tell the story because the story is not important. What is important is that you understand the journey and the process of forgiveness. If the person is not aware or have the capacity, the ability to do anything different or to know anything different, why are you letting that take your space up? Identify, hey, they didn't have the capacity, they just something, whatever it is, let me just forgive them. They ain't know no better. And if they did, they made a decision that they don't want to do better. Not my monkey, not my show, not my business. So you forgive that person and you recognize they don't hold the capacity to be in your presence, or they don't hold the capacity to have that level of access anymore. They don't have the opportunities anymore to violate you, to keep injuring you over and over again, because that's what we said. Once we identify the pain, we protect ourselves on not getting re-injuring that spot, and we make sure we don't get wounded anyplace else. Similarly. So forgiveness is opening up the door for you to release the things, those anchors, take the chain off of you and let them drop down to the bottom of the ocean and leave it there. Leave it there. For those of you that are into the Christian or use the Bible talks about when the Christ was on the crucifixion, doing the crucifixion, the Christ said, forgive them, for they know not what they're doing. They had no idea that what this man was doing was elevating their mind and raising their awareness of spiritual ability that he was demonstrating, whether he was fake or real. That's how the story goes. Forgiveness, it lifts off the weight. In ancient Egyptian societies, they believed that there was a God that when you died, they weighed your heart against a feather to see where you was going to live the afterlife. I see it. It's the jackal. I can't think of the name of it now, right? Why? Because you need to be free to move. You cannot be burdened down and heavy. You are impeding yourself. So when we begin to forgive, you don't become dependent on someone accepting your apology. When you choose to forgive, you are someone that, meaning you, is able to grow. You can pull the lesson out of it. You can understand what's happening. You can begin to consider that this individual lacks the capacity, and that if you spend in time worrying about them, that they're going to come around, they're not. So in the time you're trying to make them come apologize, you can just forgive them in advance and move on. And when they do come back and apologize, or never come back and apologize, you can let it go. But too many of us want to prove they did me wrong, instead of looking at all the great things we can be doing in our lives. Yesterday, I spoke about a book of life, and that incidences and events, 95 from which we remember, are not really true the way that we believe them and remember them. And the other part I said was, see your events and incidences as punctuations, phrases, sentences, or a paragraph. That's why we're rewriting our story. You can't rewrite your story, but then keep holding on to the fact that somebody stole all your money when you gave them access to your house. So now you block everybody from coming to your house because one person abused that privilege. Forgiveness is a requirement, because if you're going to deal with the spirit realm, like we talked about with Katie and her mother, you have to recognize the capacity by which that person, you say, it's almost, you're giving grace. Is that the word, Monica? Grace, right? You're giving grace to an individual that lacks the capacity, awareness, and knowing to do something different. And please let me emphasize this again. You do not have to call, write, or text anyone when you make a decision to forgive and clear your space. It is not your responsibility to call them and say, hey, just so you know, I'm done with you. I forgive you. And no, shit. You're re-injuring yourself, because y'all know we did it. Come on now. And don't go tell everybody, well, you know, I forgave them. Poor souls. They don't have the capacity to understand how to, come on now. That's not the way it should go. It's about you and only you. It's about increasing your level of spirituality to the point where you understand that you can take on more attributes of the spiritual realm. And that's one of them. When we don't serve, when we're supposed to do our altars, or when we're supposed to, you know, have meditation time or prayer time, or you know, learn more about spirit, or when we ingest foods that for my friend Katie B, when she said she was pregnant, she was eating that chicken, and spirit and the body kept saying, throw that stuff out, throw that stuff out. The baby was like, no, mommy, no. She did, what did she do? She ate the chicken anyway, because she wanted to. And she was willing to go with the consequence of throwing up. So that's how a person is when they do things that you are not comfortable with. They're doing that because that's what they want to do, because it benefits them. It doesn't mean they don't care about you. It just means in that moment, they made a decision. And you have no reason to be trying to figure out why they made the decision. It's your responsibility. If that decision is harmful to you, to eliminate it. So forgiveness helps you do that. Forgiveness helps you consider the possibilities of truth and expectations of your life. Because you're not spending time trying to figure out how you're going to plot like a Black Panther waiting in the cut for the right opportunity to spring out and let them have it. That's wasted time, energy, and space. How does our past eat us up? It eats us up because we keep holding on to the anchor of our past. You know, when I used to go to services, I had never heard this phrase until I went to church with my friend one time, and people was getting up, thank the Lord, wait, let me get it right. Somebody who ever went to church and you ever heard this, y'all help me out. But there's something called, thank God I'm not what I used to be, but I'm on, something like that. Monica, do you know how that saying go? I'm messing it up. But basically they're saying, I ain't what I used to be. Thank God I'm not what I used to be, but I ain't even what I'm supposed, but I'm not yet what I'm supposed to be. Something like that. Basically they're saying, I'm not doing all those things anymore, those things, but I still got some stuff I got to work on. But that's also a cop-out. Just be grateful that you're not doing those things anymore and expect to have more great things coming your way. What they're saying is that they're evolving. They're recognizing they're evolving. They're getting closer. That's the same thing with you. So forgive. So on your journal right now, ask yourself, who do I need to forgive? What do I need to forgive? Write down those things. Don't tell the whole story, just write it down. This is it. And then I am going to put y'all in breakout rooms for y'all to discuss it. And probably when you, like most people, when they get in the breakout rooms, they realize they don't really need to, they can forgive them. Like, they don't even know why they're holding on to the stuff. They're like, what? I was holding on to that. I thought it was important. You ever tell your children, I don't know about y'all, you know, when they was younger, we only had one TV in the house. And so when they would make me and my husband mad, we would say, no TV all week. But then we have them sitting in the living room trying to do books and stuff like that. So now we got to read books because we told them they can't read, right? Because the rule that we created was not realistic. It punished us too. They can keep bothering us. So when you are going forward, you got to do that. All right, I'm putting y'all in breakout rooms. How many of us is it today? Are we back to 6 or no? We're back to 5. I'll pop in with somebody. And just remember, all you're sharing when you get in the room, get ready. You're going to share who or what you need to forgive. And then I want 2 benefits of you doing that forgiveness. I know y'all like, what's she talking about? Ain't no benefit. Yes, it is. If you forgive George, what are 2 benefits in your life? If you forgive George, what would be different in your life? Okay. I won't get a pain in my stomach every time I see him walk past me. I can begin to focus on me more instead of worrying about trying to convince and change him to see that he was wrong when he did all these things. That's a benefit.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
When you sometimes forgive somebody, and you're letting go, you have to let it go of things as well as the person.
Yes. And that's why, yeah, did I say that? I thought I said people, places, and things, right? Or events.
Yeah, but you're just saying forgiving that person, letting go of that person.
Yeah.
But sometimes the person's attached to the thing that belongs to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But if that's true, if something belongs to you, so give me an example, Katie, because that's you talking it. So let's walk through it before we break out.
Okay, well, this would be my example. So my mother, she looked after this boy since he was 2 years old, and he's on my land, which is mine. If I forgive him, then I could also say, oh, I don't care about the land, although my mother left it to me. So if you forgive somebody, you can forgive things. You can let go of things too. But that was left to us, me and my sons. But he's on it. And that's what the anger is about, that he's on the land.
Okay.
You know?
So let's take a breath right here and let's just release that energy that popped up in your chest as soon as you, girl, you for real mad about him. Okay. Just breathe a little bit through that. Katie, I feel you. Right. So let's play this out. So your mother had land that she left to you and your son. Someone is living there that obviously moved in because your mother was there, or they, right?
Yeah.
So
She
so
moved in
why are you
because
forgiving this person? Because they fell victim to your mother's manipulation and lies, or are you forgiving them because they're on your land and you can't access it?
Well, I'd be forgiving him because he never let me bury my mother. He took over the whole thing, and now he's on the land, in my room that my mother left for me, and won't let me go there. There's there's so much to forgive, and sometimes you're not at a place to forgive until he moves out of that place.
So, I mean, this would take longer, and I am going to talk to you one-to-one. So
Okay.
maybe I'll keep you, me and you are going to a room and we'll talk, and then I'll let
Okay.
everybody else talk in two
Okay.
separate rooms. Because here's what I'm going to say: prioritization. What do you really want? What really matters to you to have harmony, peace in your life? Is it that you have to possess the land? Is it that he blocked that you gotta be able to exhume your mama and maybe rebury her, or that you at least go be able to walk on the land that belongs to you? What is it? Like, you got to figure that out for you. And that's what most of us have to do. What's the cost? Right? What's the win? That's why I said focus on the benefit. The benefit of letting that go is that you can no longer keep keeping a part of you saying that something was taken from me, that I'm being denied something, which are low energy vibrations. And I didn't put up the thing for the first time in 6 years. I have not put up the emotional frequency scale that shows that when we get into those things of possession, guilt, anger, right? Those are all lower frequency vibrations. Don't mean we don't ever get them, but we want to try to limit them. Shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, all of those things are like 100. I went from 20 to 175. So we'll talk more. What is the benefit of you forgiving someone? Or something you want and desire? First, you forgive them so that when you go to negotiate or when you go to act, it is not from an emotional place, but you have the help of the spiritual realm, and you have wisdom and ancestral guidance and wisdom to bring you the information. That's the difference. If you're emotional, you're going to miss stuff because you're angry. Like I told you, I felt the flame literally come up in the center of your chest, where your sternum, up into your throat. I felt it and I saw the fire. So that kind of energy, imagine if that fire could be directed at a court case. Imagine if that fire could be redirected towards your healing. Imagine if it could be redirected towards your finances, to buy even more land. I'm just saying, we can talk more about it. Okay, ladies, I'm gonna put y'all in the groups. I don't want to go over today. It's already 3 o'clock and we got to be out of here no later than 4. So breakout rooms. What are you going to forgive? Do you feel like you should forgive? And then 2 benefits. I'll see y'all shortly. I'm going to do 3 groups and pull me and Katie into them. It took away my groups. Hang on, y'all. 1 second. Okay, it's going to take you away. I'll see you shortly. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. We'll do 5. We'll do 5. Just click the little blue. Yeah. Everybody, Katie, kick your blue button too. Monica, did I put you in a room with me? Okay. All right. Meaning, did you make it to a group? Did you go in a group?
Yes, I did. I
Okay.
just left it, but I don't know.
Yeah, they were supposed to leave.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it said we had
Ye-
like 27 seconds, so we left. So
Oh, okay, okay. Wow. Who is the the woman with the short hair?
that is Katie J.
No, the other one, the one that was with the glasses. She's an older woman, like
Oh,
maybe
Denise.
Denise.
That's who you were with.
Okay.
That's who you were with.
Yeah, she's pretty
Yeah, isn't she
fantastic.
amazing?
Yeah.
I
All
love
right. Yeah.
her. I guess I'll keep her around me.
I know.
I guess. She ain't
I
all
mean,
bad.
listen. I think it would behoove you to keep her.
Not the behoove. No, you didn't say the behoove. No, you
Yeah.
didn't say the behoove. Yeah, that's my sister. I
Mhm.
really, it was just like she said, it was just something she came through and she has been coming through ever since. And that's why I wanted people, I like using practitioners that once came through this journey. So y'all be like, oh, no, it's elevation. Ain't no stagnation around here. We moving forward. I didn't put my other earring back on.
Yeah.
Took my earring off, never put it. I just look on this side. I'll just be on this side. So that's what that's about. Let me send these ladies a note because they should be back by now.
We're all here.
Everybody's
okay.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't see y'all for whatever purpose. Okay, all right. So talk to me. What y'all think?
Yeah.
Could y'all come up? What was the hardest part? Finding people to forgive or looking for the benefit?
I mean, both. Quite honestly, I mean, honestly it's one main person. There's other people that I probably need to forgive, but my baby daddy, he's just, I got 20 plus years in anger for him, and it's not helping me. I literally have an autoimmune illness, and I was telling Denise that I think part of that is me holding a grudge this long. That's a long ass grudge to hold.
Well, that's why I wanted to tell you about the Graves' disease, right? About
Yeah.
right. I wanted to tell that they said that's what the thyroid is. The parathyroid is about communication. Then your body's stressed out, and then what happens is your body starts shutting down. Stress leads to other organs being stressed out, and so you're constantly in this cycle. So you got your benefits. We're gonna forgive them today.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yes.
I'm gonna open up. Everybody's mic is gonna be open. We don't have the camp. This is usually our fire ceremony. One of our fire ceremonies that we do. So I want you to write it down. Right? I forgive you, George Smith. For that time when you took, Cynthia's diamond brooch and spread it out. What do you forgive? Be very specific. I understand that for you, you feel that when other people have things that are of value, if you get jealous, you want it too. But I forgive you. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what I said was make sure that you have, now that you have written it, I want you to read it. We're going to read it simultaneously at the same time. Y'all got this? So everybody's mic is open. You know why I'm making everybody at the same time?
So
So
nobody
you don't
hears
chicken
again.
out. Yeah, exactly. Katie, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Okay, y'all ready? On the count of 3, you're going to say, I forgive you, or I forgive. Say it and get all the way through it. I want you to say it 3 times. Don't hold back. Don't worry about what nobody else is saying. I don't care what's happening. You say it 3 times before you stop. Everybody got that? You ready? And go.
I forgive Raymond for
Keep
abandoning
going. Keep going.
Ashley. Forgive him for not
Yes,
co-parenting
I
with
forgive
me.
myself for
Forgive
not
for
honoring
not
the
being
space that I
loyal
was
to
supposed to
me.
be in.
Forgive for lying about me. I forgive Raymond for abandoning Ashley. I forgive
Keep going,
him for
ladies.
not co-parenting with me. I forgive him for not being loyal to me, and I forgive him for lying about me. I forgive Raymond for abandoning Ashley. I forgive him for not co-parenting with me. Forgive him for not being loyal to me, and forgive him for lying about me.
Forgive. Thank you. So it is. How did that feel? Some people whispered it because they don't want to, because they're not ready to forgive yet. Some
Can I
people were
say?
like, some people were like, yes. I heard strong voices, I heard soft voices, I heard medium voices. I saw some people doing that. That's what happens. Now, as a collective, the word forgive is going forth in a vibration. It's going forth in a vibrational. Your message is now being carried off by the wind. Whatever your intention was and your request is carrying with that much speed. I heard things like abandoned family. I heard somebody talk about money. Somebody talk about lies. I was doing my own while y'all was doing y'all. So I couldn't hear everything. Katie, you were gonna say, how did it feel, you said?
Yes. When I was writing it down, I felt like crying,
Yeah.
and it was about my mother, and I didn't feel like crying ever over her, but I felt like crying over this forgiveness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's the pure heart in you. That's not the mind, Katie. That's the heart, Katie, that's offering forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Nina, how did you feel, baby?
Well, it made me want to take a bat and beat him in the head.
So
I'm
I
just
have a
being
question.
so-
I think I heard you say something about abandonment. So I don't recall what I just heard you say abandonment like one time. It caught my ear. So
Yeah,
so if somebody abandons somebody, it's usually because they're cowardice and they cannot handle the situation, or they don't feel they can benefit either from themselves or to the person they're with. So abandonment, let's reframe that. Would you rather have a person there stressing you out more, making you feel unwanted in your face, or would you rather let them be gone so you can begin to focus on you and what you got to get done to have a future? That's
I
a real
would
question.
rather, yeah, exactly. I would rather what happened because, yes, he wasn't capable of raising a child. Even with me being the primary parent, he wasn't ready. And like you said, I would have been going crazy fussing with him because he
She would
doesn't
have got
have the
taken.
capacity.
She would have been taken. She would have been taken.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So I know I go back and forth, but I also remember how you're supposed to parent your kids. You know what I'm saying? Period. You make them, you parent
Can I pause
them.
you for a second?
Yes.
It's not about him, it's about you.
I
So like
know.
you
I
already,
know.
girl, I can't even let it go.
I told her that.
I know. I know.
I just told you that.
I know.
I
I
said
know.
it's not about him, it's about you.
It's all about you. And that's and his leaving and all the things you wrote down that paper is a confirmation for what other people have said, that you're not enough. You understand? So if I
Exactly.
can convince you of that, then that's why you keep, like you said, I'm not even gonna try because I know I'm gonna fail. And I also feel like there's a story between how y'all got together. It almost was a little bit of rebellion on how you end up with this person. You did our rebellion.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
Oh, I'm getting all the folk. Oh, they telling me all the tea. Hold it now. Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
okay.
Mhm.
So it's not about him, it's about you. So you want to forgive yourself, and you also want to forgive this man
Mhm.
and have
I have
gratitude for
to.
the acts. Yes, because you cannot afford, you
Yeah.
can't go back and fix the past. It is what it is.
Mhm.
Forgive
Okay.
yourself. You know, I did something recently. You know, somebody played a trick on me recently. So I'm about to leave and go on a trip. And the person said, no, we're not gonna be there this time. We're gonna start out over here. And I went, wait a minute, right? And so my mind started playing these tricks on me. And so they picked up on it and they started playing the trick, they started reinforcing it. Your mind is a powerful tool, I keep telling y'all.
Yeah.
You got yourself in a fix. And now you want to be mad at everybody else because you made the decision. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong, doesn't mean you should be punished. It just means you got to take responsibility for making the decision. So you made the decision. This is the consequence. And it also meant that he would not be around. But you are enough and found trustworthy. Monica said it earlier, trustworthy to be given this gift of a child.
Mhm.
They
Okay.
knew that you were the one that had to stay, and the one that had to go had to go.
Yeah.
So anything that person says is doing it from a place of resentment because they they going, damn, I walked away from all that greatness.
Mhm.
I prevented that much strength, right? That's the level of truth and prosperity that comes in your life when you let go of anchors and dead weight. And stop being, go downstairs, please. That's the 3-year-old. I couldn't stop him. Sorry. Forgiveness. How do you forgive? How do you forgive yourself from making a decision when you had no information, but you were forced to make a decision? You just forgive yourself for that very reason. And you find ways to avoid yourself being put in that predicament again. You've been paying the price for that, for that situation for the last 25 plus years. You've been just holding on to it. That's your weight. That, let me carry my, oh dang, it fell off. Let me pick it back up. Forgiveness. Forgiveness. Healing. That's the goal. Growing is the objective. All right. Anybody else? Trying to think, I heard something else too. I heard something else too. You know how I didn't hear a lot. I couldn't hear Katie. I didn't hear your voice. Your voice didn't stand out. Your voice didn't stand out, Katie. How did you feel about your going through your process, Katie B?
Um, I kind of had like a wave go through my whole system. Like I kind of felt like it went from like from the head to the feet. I don't know
It was a
if
rush of
that's
energy. Mhm,
yeah, something like that.
mhm. I was
And then I
looking at
kind
you
of got chills.
because you got scared. You got scared. You went. I saw your face. You went. It was good. Don't it feel better?
I don't, it feels, I guess so, but it was like a rush of relief, like a release. But to be honest, it's still gonna take work. Like I
Yeah.
have
Right.
to
Because
keep
I'm
honest with
gonna tell you what
myself.
I heard, but you miss it. You miss it. It was a comfort spot. It was a safety net. It was a them blankets, the babies, what's it called? Security blankets for a baby. That was your security blanket. That was your go-to. This is my justification. Fuck all y'all, because this is my justification. I love
Yep.
you. I love you. That's why I told y'all when y'all do things like this, I'm always looking for spirit. I ask spirit to take me higher so I can see and hear. Right? That's what that's about. You can miss it, just don't pick it back up again. You said you want to be authentically, and this is who you're evolving to. So you have to release that.
Yep. In order to continue
Yeah.
that.
Do you want your children coming back picking up that craziness? No. They're already gorgeous. What you gonna do? Just let them be crazy too? No, we got enough of that going around. Okay. Anybody else? Can we take, if we don't have anything else about forgiveness, I'm going to ask you, we're going to go into a break session so we can get prepared for the ancestral journey. And I'm asking you that if you can dedicate this next, I don't even know, what I got, Denise, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm good. The next 30 minutes. So I'm going to take like a 5-minute break. I just need to shift something for 5 minutes. And then I'm going to come right back. So write in your journal about the experience of forgiveness, right? Maybe there's somebody else you need to forgive. Maybe to forgive yourself about something else. Keep yourself first to forgive, and then you forgive others. Forgive yourself first for the incident, for that, and then go forward. All right, I'll be right back. I got to grab something, and then we're going to do our ancestral journey, and we are ready.
I'm gonna have to disconnect.
Yes, love, go for it.
I
Yeah.
may leave in case something comes through, so I don't want
Okay,
to.
cool. That's what I was thinking about. I was like, Monica probably. She
Yeah.
said the afternoon. Okay, lovey. Thank you again. I love you. And
You're
It
I'll
was
welcome.
nice to meet you.
be touching
And
soon.
Okay, you guys have a good one.
You
Okay.
too. Bye,
it was
sis.
nice to meet you.
See.
Okay.
All right, ladies, we are ready to get started. So I want to explain the process to y'all so that we can all be on the same page. I want to remind you that this process is a process that has been done within my cultural practices. And so I'm sharing it with y'all, okay? This is a journey when you want to journey to the center of yourself to talk to your ancestors. Some people make it seem like it's a big to do, it is, but the process itself is really about you being vulnerable and surrendering. During this time, I will be holding a space for you. I will be shielding, guiding, protecting you. I am watching you. I can hear, see, feel what you're doing in this space because I've allowed myself to open up to that. I'm not going to be in your business. I can't make you do nothing. It is all up to you. It's going to require you to relax your mind. It is a form of meditation, trance meditation, which means that you will be traveling to the inner parts of where your ancestors' realm is. And they will be talking to you. I want to warn you ahead of time. It may not be the people you want to see that greet you. It may be an unfamiliar place, but it's an ancestral place that keeps your ancestors connected to you and to your family. So as we start, I'm going to have some drumming to play. Monica talked about the power of vibration. I can't emphasize that enough. The power of vibrations and frequency and how it goes. I am crowned in Baba Yaye as well as Ayizan. And there are times when I carry the birth of Oba because Oba is about the birthing and the maintenance and control, right? So when we're doing this process, it is designed for you to become fully relaxed and enthralled and allow yourself to experience the journey into the center of who you are, where your ancestors are. Please note that this will be over. I'm not even going to do it as long. Yes, get yourself prepared. You can turn off the lights. You can do whatever. I'm going to turn on. Usually y'all would see all my candles that I have on display. I have about 12 candles going on display that's been working. I've already doing my lunch break. I've already, done what I have to do for the orishas and clear the space and clean the space. I'm going to continue to do that during the process. But just know you will get some answers. If you're uncertain, don't worry about it. After this process, you can do it again on your own, and you'll have more direction. So our ancestors' journeys is very important. Whew. Y'all got some nervous energy right there. The song I played was a tribute to Papa Legba. So we're probably going to do it for about 10 minutes. I'll do it for 10 minutes this time because I don't want us to go over. So it'll be a second. Please take yourself and get yourself comfortable. You can lie down, you can sit up. Preferably if you're sitting up, don't cross your feet at your ankles or don't cross them up above you. Allow yourself to have your feet straight so that your body can be easily moved and carried if necessary. Start just taking in those deep cleansing breaths that we've been doing all day, where you breathe in through your nose. Feel your belly, your chest rising with air. You can hold it and blow it out. Keep repeating the breath. Closing your eyes and breathing through your nose and out through your mouth. Begin to let your body relax. Now place in your mind a favorite place you would like to go, or where you believe peace actually looks like for your life. What peace looks like for your life. Smell what's there. Notice the landscape. What sounds do you hear in your place of peace? Now take a moment and begin to strip out of the clothes you are wearing right now. Changing into that which you were given in the moment you came to this planet. When you're ready, begin to journey forward, noticing the sounds, the images, as you take a seat, as you come across this opening. Breathe. Now see yourself and allow yourself to begin to become smaller and smaller. So small that you can see that you can fit inside your navel. Okay. Focus that you are in your place of peace. That you are now able to reduce yourself now to go through your navel, which is the source of life, the suspension of life. When you're ready, go ahead and open up your navel. Doesn't matter if it's an outie or an innie. It will open for you. You can do it. Look for the light and begin to travel. Notice what you're noticing. See what you see. Yes, it's dark. Go ahead and ascend down deeper. Go further. I know it's scary. Continue. You are journeying to the center of your astral plane to get the messages, the healing, and the comfort that belongs to you. Allow yourself to be greeted and loved. Ask the questions. Receive the love. It's all right. The tears are releasing the pain and the misunderstanding. Yeah, it feels good. You didn't think you could? Don't rush. Listen. Breathe. You're ready. Thank your ancestors. It's okay. This is who you really are. Find yourself going back up, traveling back. You can come back. Now exiting back into your space. Walk back to where you began, in your place of peace. Noticing what you're noticing, feeling what you're feeling, trusting what you've heard and seen. Allow yourself to return back to your normal side. Come on. It's okay. Get dressed. Give gratitude. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. Return back to your seat. And share. In your journals right now, before I talk to you, can you just write down about your experience? Some of you had challenges. Some of y'all got there and was like, I'm gonna run this. You can't run ancestors. You can't tell the ancestors what you want. Some of y'all was shocked to see how far you are from who you really are. Write down in your journal what you experienced and what you thought.